It all began with the excitement of a much-anticipated family getaway. The sun shone brightly, casting a warm glow upon the golden sands as we set foot on the beach. The waves beckoned us with their playful dance, promising days filled with laughter and cherished memories. As we strolled along the shoreline, a sense of unease began to creep into our hearts. Something felt off, but we couldn't quite put our finger on it. It started with small things: a seagull perched motionless on the sand, an odd arrangement of shells forming an intricate pattern. These peculiarities were easy to dismiss, mere quirks of nature. But as we ventured further, the strangeness intensified. Footprints in the sand seemed to appear out of nowhere, leading us down mysterious paths. Shadows danced along the water's edge, whispering secrets only the ocean knew. We exchanged uneasy glances, unsure if our eyes were playing tricks on us or if something truly unusual was afoot. The beach, once a place of tranquility and joy, now felt tinged with an inexplicable sense of foreboding. The crashing waves seemed to carry a sinister undertone, and the wind whispered eerie melodies through the swaying palm trees. It was as if an unseen presence lurked just beyond our sight, watching our every move. As the days went by, the unsettling occurrences persisted. We stumbled upon peculiar objects washed ashore: a weathered doll with missing eyes, a tattered journal filled with cryptic writings. The beach, once a blank canvas of serenity, now resembled a tapestry woven with inexplicable fragments of a dark story. But the most chilling discovery awaited us upon our return home. As we stepped through the front door, a wave of unease washed over us. The furniture, once meticulously arranged, had been rearranged in unsettling configurations. Chairs faced the walls, tables stood on their sides, and family photos were askew. It was as if a poltergeist had paid a mischievous visit in our absence. Fear gripped our hearts as we realized that something more sinister than mere coincidence was at play. We called the police, desperate for answers, hoping they could shed light on this inexplicable intrusion into our lives. Each creak of the floorboards, each distant sound heightened our anxiety, as if the very air around us held its breath, awaiting resolution. The arrival of the police brought temporary relief, their presence a comforting reassurance in the face of the unknown. They surveyed the scene, their expressions a mix of concern and bewilderment. Yet, like us, they were at a loss to explain the eerie events that had unfolded. To this day, the unsettling memory of that summer trip lingers in my mind, a constant reminder that the world we inhabit is filled with mysteries that defy explanation. The beach, once a symbol of serenity, became a theater of the inexplicable, leaving us with more questions than answers. It was a balmy summer evening when my partner and I set foot on that pristine stretch of sand. The rhythmic crashing of waves and the gentle breeze provided the perfect backdrop for our romantic escapade. Little did we know that the tranquility would soon give way to a terror we never could have imagined. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow across the water, we settled down on a cozy blanket, gazing out at the vast expanse before us. The soft whispers of the ocean serenaded our hearts, enveloping us in a bubble of blissful ignorance. But fate had other plans. It began with a faint, almost ethereal whistling sound that drifted towards us on the wind. At first, we dismissed it as a mere trick of the night, a natural melody carried by unseen hands. Yet, as the minutes ticked by, the whistling grew louder, more dissonant, and undeniably eerie. My partner and I exchanged anxious glances, our expressions mirroring the unease that gripped our souls. What had started as a romantic evening had taken an unexpected turn, plunging us into a world of uncertainty and fear. The once inviting beach now seemed shrouded in shadows, the whispers of anxiety echoing in our ears. With every passing moment, the haunting whistling seemed to encroach upon us, surrounding us from all directions. It felt as if an unseen malevolence had infiltrated our sanctuary, threatening to unravel the fragile fabric of our sanity. We knew we couldn't ignore it any longer. We had to confront the source of our terror. As we rose from our blanket, a chill settled deep within our bones. We scanned the beach, our eyes darting between the dunes, searching for any sign of the elusive whistler. But in that moment, a sense of foreboding washed over us, urging us to retreat from the encroaching darkness. Hand in hand, we hurried towards our car, the once warm sand now cold and unforgiving beneath our feet. The whistling pursued us, its haunting tune piercing through the night, fueling our fear with every step. We glanced back, and there, amidst the shadows, we saw him, a figure clad in darkness wearing a grotesque mask. Our breath caught in our throats as our eyes locked with his, devoid of emotion yet filled with an intensity that sent shivers down our spines. Time seemed to stand still as we absorbed the gravity of the situation, the weight of the unknown pressing down upon us. We had to escape. With adrenaline coursing through our veins, we sprinted towards the car, our hearts pounding in our chests. Panic fueled our movements as we fumbled for the keys, our trembling hands betraying our terror. Finally, the engine roared to life and we sped away, leaving the haunting whistling and the masked figure behind. As we drove, the questions raced through our minds. Who was that masked man? What were his intentions? The answers eluded us, lost in the darkness of that fateful night. But one thing was certain: we had glimpsed a malevolence that lurked in the shadows, forever altering our perception of safety and peace. The memory of that encounter haunts our thoughts, a constant reminder that even in the most serene of settings, danger can lurk beneath the surface. The beach, once a symbol of joy and tranquility, now holds a darker meaning, a chilling testament to the inexplicable horrors that can disrupt our lives. It was a glorious summer day when my family and I embarked on our much-anticipated beach vacation. The beach house, nestled along the shore, held the promise of sun-soaked adventures and blissful relaxation. Little did we know that our picturesque retreat would transform into a haunting nightmare. On that fateful day, the sun hung high in the sky, casting a golden glow upon the glistening sands. Laughter filled the air as my friends and I raced towards the shoreline, eagerly embracing the call of the ocean's embrace. Sand castles were meticulously constructed, beach games were played with abandon, and the joyful chatter of children echoed across the beach. As the day progressed, a sense of unease settled upon the once vibrant scene. The cheerful bustle faded into an eerie stillness, as if nature itself held its breath in anticipation. A chill crept up my spine, but I dismissed it as a figment of my imagination, unwilling to let it spoil the day's revelry. It was then that an otherworldly sound pierced through the tranquility, a haunting cry that seemed to emanate from the very depths of the ocean. The once lively beach fell into a hushed silence, as if gripped by an invisible hand. Eyes widened and hearts raced as we exchanged bewildered glances, searching for answers that eluded our grasp. Driven by a mix of concern and morbid curiosity, we turned our gaze towards the source of the haunting cry. There, amidst the undulating waves, floated a lifeless figure, an eerie apparition in the sea's embrace. Shock and disbelief washed over us like a tidal wave, rendering us speechless. Fear coursed through our veins, urging us to take action. Hands trembling, we fumbled for our phones, hastily dialing emergency services. Panic-stricken voices described the surreal scene that unfolded before our eyes: a motionless body, adrift in the ocean's depths. Minutes felt like hours as we anxiously awaited the arrival of the police. Time seemed to stretch, elongating every second with agonizing anticipation. Each passing moment was burdened with the weight of the unknown. What had happened to this poor soul? How did they meet such a tragic fate? Finally, the wailing sirens announced the arrival of the authorities. With swift and purposeful movements, they sprang into action, bringing the lifeless body ashore. The atmosphere turned somber, thick with an inexplicable sorrow that hung in the air like a heavy shroud. As the police carefully examined the body, their expressions morphed from curiosity to profound bewilderment. Scars marred the lifeless form, leaving a chilling testament to the mysterious circumstances that befell the individual. Each scar whispered a tale of agony and suffering, etched upon the flesh like cryptic messages from beyond. Every gaze fixated on the haunting scars, as if searching for answers that could never be found. The police, too, were baffled, their faces etched with a mix of sadness and frustration. The enigma of this poor soul's fate remained locked in a puzzle of darkness, with no clear path towards illumination. Days turned into weeks, and still, the truth eluded us. The newspapers whispered of mysterious disappearances and unsolved cases, leaving us to wonder if our haunting encounter was merely one thread in a vast tapestry of unknown horrors. The ocean held its secrets close, as if safeguarding the truth from prying eyes. To this day, the memory of that harrowing day lingers in my mind, a constant reminder that the ocean's depths conceal mysteries that may never be unveiled. Its tranquil beauty belies the unknown terrors that lie hidden beneath the waves, forever beyond our reach.